So Chuck Schumer, day in and day out now, cannot stop humiliating himself and proving that he doesn't know how to lead. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, that he's stuck in a previous era of politics. So as you all know, it was weeks ago, I guess, there was the dirty continuing resolution that he allowed to pass. Democrats had leverage to block it. Chuck Schumer did not block it, basically giving the Republicans everything that they wanted for a continuing resolution. And as a result of that, there were no red lines drawn. So Elon Musk was still allowed to hack around in the back of our government. Doge is still hacking around in the back of our government, cutting whatever programs they want, totally illegally, totally unconstitutionally. And you saw, for the first time in my life, you saw Democratic voters just overwhelmingly in unison all cry out at the same time, fuck our leadership. He doesn't know what he's doing. Chuck Schumer is weak. Chuck Schumer is pathetic. He doesn't know how to fight. And they were right. Now, I see some people today claiming the opposite because Trump's poll numbers have imploded. Let's be clear about something. Trump's poll numbers were going to implode under the weight of what he was doing no matter what. The question is, should Democrats be there to fight him every step of the way and prove that we actually believe in something and prove that we will improve things? So the idea that people like Matt Iglesias are now pretending like, actually, Schumer's strategy was right. Why? Because Trump's poll numbers went down? How do you know that if Democrats didn't fight, that Trump's poll numbers wouldn't be 32% instead of 39%? Actually pick a fight when everybody knows we're right. Defending due process in the Constitution, right? There's one area. Stopping the robber baron coup of our government where they cut Meals on Wheels in pediatric cancer research. There's a million things you could fight on. But no, they want to lay down a chalk outline of themselves. But I don't need to spend too much time on the Iglesiases of the world because literally like 90% or more of the Democratic base all agree Chuck Schumer is pathetic. So guys, we've not seen anything like this in our lifetimes. This first 100 days of the Trump regime is horrifying. It is terrible on every front. It's a full-on assault on democracy, on the rule of law, on the Constitution. It's a full-on assault on just basic due process, habeas corpus. He's warmongering with all these different countries, bombing Yemen, bombing Somalia. The list goes on. So one of the things he's been doing, as you all know, is he's picked a fight with Harvard and with these universities, and he's trying to make them bend the knee. And so initially it was like, hey, we want you to like get rid of your DEI programs. And then some of them said yes to that. And then they raised the stakes and said, actually, no, we want MAGA affirmative action in all of your departments. We want to basically control the curriculum and have like federal oversight of everything that happens at Harvard. And then what these people realized is, oh, you can't give them an inch because they'll take a mile. So now Harvard's fighting back and many others are fighting back. So Chuck Schumer was asked on CNN, like, about this, about the Democratic response to Trump's shakedown of Harvard. And he gives one of the most pathetic, sad answers I've ever heard in my life. Listen to this.
It's going to hurt every American. It's going to hurt the kids at the universities who've had nothing to do with protesting. But it's also going to hurt the kind of medical research and other kinds of great research that is done at Harvard and other universities. So we sent him a very strong letter just the other day asking 8 very strong questions about why this isn't just a pretext.
Well, you'll let us know if you get a response to that letter. I do want to...
So his response to Trump's war on academia in this country, where they're trying to make it fascist propaganda mills, his response is, oh my God, Dana, we sent him a very strongly worded letter. We sent eight very strong questions. We sent him a letter. I literally don't even know what to say anymore. You think sending this man a strongly worded letter is going to get anything accomplished? Are you out of your fucking minds? Are you out of your mind? He's got to step down. He's got to step down. He's not prepared. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to fight. Why are we not already at the point where you have impeachment taking off, right? Why are we not already at the point where you have hearings over this? Why are we not already at the point where you keep a running list of all of the crimes? Why are we not doing what Tim Walz suggested, which is effectively have a shadow government that responds to every single thing that the Trump regime is doing on a daily basis? Point out all of the crimes, all of the things that are going to hurt you. Like, he's doing nothing. And like I said, a tiny percentage of idiots think he's winning because Trump's numbers are going down. Trump's numbers are going down because of Trump. The question is, if he's proving to be colossally unpopular and sucking, at the very least, you can stand there and be like, yeah, he sucks. Let me explain how, and let me explain how we fix it. He sent a strongly worded letter. Trump is not even going to read that shit, bro. Trump's not even going to read that shit. Trump's administration won't even read that shit. It's not like the people surrounding him. Yeah, let me take a moment to read Chuck Schumer's concerns. They don't give a fuck about your concern, dog. You have to force them to stop. You need to use every tool you have available to get them to stop. You need, it should be Democrats should be leading. We've had all these hands-off protests, which have been great. We've had the anti-genocide protests, which have been great. But, it is time for, the senators and the Congress people have to get involved, and they need to get their fucking ass in the streets, too. Right? Is there no awareness of where we are? Sending a strongly worded letter is something you do with, George H.W. Bush. Right? This is no longer the late 80s or the early 90s, you dumb bitch. So I want to contrast this with the correct approach. So J.B. Pritzker, it's no secret to anybody that J.B. Pritzker wants to run for president, right? And he's been out there, just like Tim Walz has been doing town halls in red districts and telling the truth and fighting Fox News, and AOC and Bernie are out there doing their thing. Pritzker's kind of been pretty vocal and in front of the cameras quite a bit lately. And so he went to New Hampshire, which is another sign that he wants to run for president, by the way. New Hampshire is one of the early contests, and usually if a politician is visiting New Hampshire, that's a sign he's going to run. So he was given a speech, and listen to what he's saying and compare it to the strongly worded letter.
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption, but I am now. Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box.
He's literally saying we got to get out there in the streets, bro. Quote, Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. He says, swaying their portraits will one day be put in museums reserved for tyrants and traitors. He's saying we need to get out there in the streets. We need to do everything we fucking can to stop the dismantling of our country right now, the destruction of the Constitution, the war on the rule of law. That's how you fight, Chuck. That's how you... I sent him a strongly worded letter. Oh, my God. We need impeachment. We need removal. We need criminal charges. We need to go after the lower level thugs and gangsters who are carrying out these illegal orders day after day after day. That's what the court should be doing that, right? The court should be doing that. You should already have the courts freezing the assets and fining the stormtroopers who are rounding up people illegally and sending them to a slave labor gulag concentration camp in El Salvador. We need to make clear. The judicial system needs to make clear. The congressional branch, the legislature needs to make clear, and the people need to make clear. None of this is going to continue. It's all stopping, and it's stopping right now. And if you partook in it, you're getting locked up. That's what needs to happen. Calling for a mass movement. We've had other rando, normie Democratic politicians saying, I think we need a general strike. Compare that to fucking Chuck Schumer. Compare that to Chuck Schumer. Compare that to Hakeem Jeffries. Jesus Christ, man. It is crazy. But look, some people are getting it. Some Democratic politicians are noticing the moment, and they're stepping up to the plate. And I think it's only going to be more and more and more. And in the dustbin of history will be the knee benders. In the dustbin of history will be the ones who said, let's compromise and negotiate with fascists. It's a new era, and the Democratic Tea Party is here, whether or not somebody like Chuck Schumer recognizes it. This is literally fodder for a primary opponent to Chuck Schumer in the future to just play what he said here as an ad. We sent a strongly worded letter. It was very strong. It's laughable on its face, and everybody's going to notice it. He is not fit to lead. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.